is going on, my guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Garrett with Game by the Beach. We are jumping into yet another installment, we're bricking, of the lone legendaries, but trying to shed light for free-to-play players who only have a few legendary cards and kind of what good combinations work with that one legendary. So if you guys haven't checked out my last video, do so. It was about the Summoner card, really good card. We have a bunch of combinations that you can do with Summoner. Best one with free-to-play would be Mime. If you have Harlequin, that's even better, but a lot of people don't have Harlequin. So if you have Mime, Summoner Mime, really, really good. And then honestly, then the possibilities are kind of endless, right? You could be an Engineer deck, you could be a Thunderer deck, you could be any damage card in the world, you could be that type of deck. So today, as you guys can see, is the Boreas deck. So this is going to be a full breakdown of what decks work really well with Boreas without using any other legendaries. And before I forget, make sure you guys are subscribing to this channel. We put out, look at that switch right there. We put out daily videos on Royale. Check them out. We also do some live streaming about once a week. And we would love to have you as part of this community. But here we go, going up against a guy who's running a little bit of an interesting deck in the Rocket Goblin Pyrotechnic, and hopefully we can take this guy out. We do have Puppeteer that we're going to be going up against, so I'm hesitant to just keep on leveling up my Vampire, but we do have 24 seconds, so let's just try and let it go with all of its glory. And let me just walk you through the deck. There's a million variations of decks that you could do with Boreas, but let me break down what type of things you want in these decks. So, firstly, you want something to help its damage out. Boreas is a great damage card, but it does need a little bit of help. So, two ways to support it. The support card, which I have as the Grindstone currently, okay? Grindstone's really strong right now. Yes, it falls off when you're going up against Bannerlord, but it increases your critical damage, so it just makes Boreas hit that much harder. It's really, really useful, okay? We also have Plague Doctor to help with damage, which is another damage unit. It does AoE. Obviously, Boreas just hits the frontmost unit. So having a little bit of splash damage trickled in there, sprinkled in there, is really, really useful as well. Plague Doctor falls off a bit later in the game as well, but it's definitely a useful card. So let's just do some combining out here. We don't need so many gosh darn. Let's just go down here, I guess. See what we get. Plague Doctor, actually pretty useful. Let's level him up. We're going up against Puppeteer again, which is a little bit unfortunate, just because I want to level up my stuff, but I don't want to lose so much mana. Let's do... Ooh, okay. We can actually just combine out here, then. Grindstone in a spot that isn't useful at all. We don't have very high-level Boreases, so this deck's not going great. We also have something to help with slow or stun. So Bombardier and Cold Mage are the most typical slow and stun units. I have Cold Mage in here. It seems to help out a decent amount, especially in the late game when Grindstone and things fall off. So you can often win with just holding out longer than your opponent. And then late game, you're just slowing everybody down so much that you kind of sneak a victory. So that's hopefully what we're going to do. I'm going to try my best not to level anybody up much more. Let's try and build up our mana because we are going up against Puppeteer. 2 rounds of Puppeteer in a row is kind of brutal. But they are getting right to the end of his board. Hopefully this is going to be a GG. He took 2 hits, and get there. That is a victory with just a Boreas deck, okay? And I really do want to make a point of saying that you can notice here, Plague Doctor actually out DPS'd anything else, out damaged everything else. Interesting to see that Vampire did more damage than Cold Mage, and I hate that Grindstone says 0 damage, because clearly it's not 0 damage. I wish it said a statistic of how much it buffed something, but maybe that's a little tricky to do. But yeah, pretty good victory right there. Let's jump into another one. There's a million combinations that you could do with Boreas, okay? So instead of telling you the cards that you should put in here, I'm going to tell you the type of cards that you should put in there, right? Need something to support the damage and an extra damage, something to make Boreas's damage more, okay? Some sort of slower stun, and then there's the mana production. So you could do Priestess, Okay, if you have Summoner, put Summoner in there, right? If you have legendary cards that are better than the cards I'm using, since this is a lone legendary playlist, I'm just going to do strictly one legendary. But if you have more than one legendary, put those in the decks in the slots that I'm talking about, right? So Vampire, a little bit of extra mana production, it helps out, right? I honestly love the fact that I can level something up super early and get production really early on, because it's hard for you to merge. If you're free to play and you don't have a ton of legendaries like Summoner and I guess everybody would have mine, but Harlequin, things like that, you're gonna have a hard time being a total aggro deck and spamming out different cards and getting a bunch of different combinations, you know? So having mana production there early essentially does the same thing. It has the same type of effect to where you're now going to have more mana to be able to be more aggro and make some more combinations. And you'll see kind of how I do combinations. I basically wait until I have 3 or more Plague Doctors and Cold Mages, and then I'm going to combine them out. Same thing with Vampires, combine them out in hopes to get some more Boreases. And even with Grindstones, I'll probably combine them out to the best of our ability. We already got a Vampire up to level 4, and we're actually going to, we'll probably not get him up to level 5. Maybe we'll get him up to level 5 after, because we are going up against Warlock, so I just want to make sure that our whole board is full so we can combine out to the best of our ability. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of this series. I'm really excited about it. It's a lot of fun to do these type of free-to-play decks. And I'm totally going to make them more. I probably will end up making all of the legendaries their own, like every legendary I'll make their own video. But let me know what you guys want to see next. I'm doing Boreas right now because specifically you guys in the last video, the Summoner video, said you wanted to see Boreas. Asking you will receive, that's what you get. And hopefully I can show it off a little bit. So he's already up at 9 in quizzes. But he is running Grindstone and Frost, so this will be a little bit of an interesting battle. Obviously, it would be unrealistic to tell you guys that these decks are going to win every time. It's just not realistic. This guy's running a Harlequin, Dryad, Inquisitor, Grindstone deck. I mean, it's one of the best decks in the game. You know, not specifically with Frost and with whatever, but it's going to be one of the best combinations. So I'm really just trying to find decks that will help you hold your own against these big guys. And if you truly only have one legendary card, chances are you're not going to be up at 5,200 or whatever the heck I'm at right now. And you can actually just, you know, win as soon as you put these decks together. So that's what I hope. Let's do that. Okay, we got a rank 3. Let's try and get our... Let's come down here. We finally got a Grindstone, but it's in a super awkward spot. Get our Cold Mage up. I do want to mention I'm rocking Snowflake, so that's going to help me a lot to where you might not have the opportunity to have Snowflake, unfortunately. Plague Doctor, let's get that up one time. I'm going to do Boreas again. And hopefully we can hold on. It's getting a little ugly. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do this. Okay, Grindstone next to a rank... We got a rank 3 Grindstone next to a rank 2 Boreas, so that's really good. Combine out this way. Another rank 2 next to a rank 3. So let's try to get our Grindstone up one more time. And we've made it through one wave, so now we're in the process of making it through 2 waves. And the longer the game goes, the more of a win I see that as in my book. Okay, going up against a really strong Inquis deck. It's going to be tough no matter what, but if we can just keep holding on, we might be in good shape. He also is running Frost, so our idea of holding out longer than him is kind of in vain. It's not really going to be a good strategy, but you never know. You never know. Let's just keep on chugging along. Maybe he'll mess up. The longer we wait, the more time he has to mess up. So that was really unfortunate for us that we ranked out rank 2s. We do have a rank 3 chugging away over there, so hopefully that'll help us. And if we need to, we'll Snowflake him, but currently we're chilling. Okay, we got a rank 2 back. That's really good. We don't have any mana, but we should be able to take out Warlock. And I'm pretty happy with how this game is going currently. Pretty happy with this game. Win or lose, this is a pretty good showing. So let's get another guy on our board. This is going to be tough. You can see that the damage from Boreas is already starting to to fall off just a bit. And there's not a ton of plays that we can make. We do have a... Now we have a rank... Well, we have a grindstone next to a Boreas up there. That's really good. Let's do this. Okay, we got another one there. Let's actually just come down here, see what we can get. Another grindstone. Awkward. Rank out here. Another Boreas is good. Let's try to get our grindstones up to max. If we can hold on from that. He's got 3 rank 3 in quizzes. And he's got a rank 2 in quiz. Let's try to hold on as long as we can. I'm going to try and get my grindstone up. Plague Doctor's doing work here. I'm going to freeze if I need to, but I don't think it's going to do anything. Freezing at the last possible second. Don't think this is going to come out as a victory. There is an L. He's up at 5,700. So again, I'm not expecting you guys to be up at 5,700 with 1 legendary, right? There's almost no way you're up at 5,700 with a single legendary. But it's kind of following this guide, and hopefully you can use the cards that you do have to make a deck and make it really, really successful. So let's jump into one more. Whatever happens, happens. We did get that 1 victory, which is huge, and hopefully we can pull out 1 more victory and aren't going up against a crazy deck. Okay, we're going up against a Boreas Shaman deck, another really strong deck here. And truly, I feel every one of you who struggle against all these Harlequin, Summoner, Dryad decks. Like, I understand that I have these cards and I play them often, but every time I put out a free-to-play deck, I totally understand the struggle of, well, I'm going up against Harlequin every time. I'm going up against Dryad every time. I'm going up against 4 legendaries in a deck every time. I totally understand it. So hopefully we can take this guy out. Plague Doctor is really useful in the beginning. We are going up against Warlock, which is good. So I'm going to try my best not to combine out too much and just wait for him to spam me. And hopefully aggro will kind of take over and we can sneak a victory. All right, so let's take a second. See what we can do. This deck that he's running has been around forever. It's a very strong deck. If you have these cards, try it out. Shaman spam with Summoner and, you know, you pick the damage. Thunderer, Boreas. I mean, you could do this with Rocket Goblin. You could do, what's another one? Engineer, really popular right now, right? Possibilities are endless. Let's get up our Boreas and our Grindstone now. He's going to come at me pretty soon. We'll just do that. Do that. Not a problem. Do that. Not a problem. Well, we don't have any Grindstones anymore, so I'm glad I upgraded Boreas first. And we do have Warlock in 30 seconds, so let's just try and make sure that our board is full so we can combine out properly. This guy is a thirsty Shaman person. My goodness, I can't believe that switch didn't take because I was all over it, but I think there was a little bit of lag there, so we didn't get it registered. Unfortunately, here comes another Shaman. 6 seconds, so our board is not completely full, which is a little unfortunate, but we do have a bunch of cold mages, so at least we'll be able to slow it down a bit. We also have no vampires and haven't leveled them up at all, so a little bit tough here. Boreas is decent against... Boreas is decent against bosses, at least early stages it is, so that's a good thing. Let's try and get our Grindstone and then our Plague Doctor up, because Plague Doctor is still really important at this stage. And we have no vampires, so we're just not going to do vampires this game, I think. I couldn't figure out where a Boreas was. Still shamaning me. Just do that, not a problem. Another Boreas. We only have 2 Boreases now. At least our Plague Doctor is doing work. Let's go over here, another Plague Doctor. We got a Boreas back. Let's do Cold Mage one time. We'll do Plague Doctor again. Always tough going up against a Boreas, going up against a Shaman deck. This guy is spamming us like crazy. He's got 2 rank 4 Boreases. Yikes. Big yikes, fellas. There's a vampire. That's not going to help us now. 40 seconds. I don't even know if we can hold out now. So it's a big problem that we're going up against a Shaman and we didn't get any vampires. I didn't think of it at the time, but now it's really bad because we could have been in decent shape. We still got our Snowflake to try and hold out. We might not need it. 15 seconds. If at all possible, I won't use it. He's hitting our Boreas again. I gotta use it. 7 seconds. Really unfortunate there. 40 seconds. We got a rank 3 Boreas. Oh, we took a hit right there. I think that's going to be the end of this game, unfortunately. 700 to go through. We are going to slow it down a bit, but it's going to take over our whole board. So really unfortunate that we couldn't hold on for one more second there. And there it goes, freezing our rank 3. Oh, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. It's not going to matter. Hit our man with a good game. Hopefully you guys have a few other cards. This is just one option of a deck that you could run, but I think it really is useful, especially if you guys are at a little bit lower trophies and you're not going up against these crazy decks every single time, which I'm sure you're not. I'm absolutely sure that you're not up at whatever trophies and trying with only one legendary. So in synopsis, right? Boreas. If you have Boreas, make sure you have a unit that does extra damage, a unit that increases the damage of the Boreas, a unit that does some sort of slow and stun, and a unit that increases your aggro with either mana production or an extra unit like a summoner to get more options on your board. You can check it out here, 2.7 mil by his Boreas. He had 2 rank 4s by the end there, and he was taking out my board. Super bad. Going up against Shaman is really tough free to play because you can't keep spamming out cards unless you had vampires, but we got a little bit unlucky there. We did get 1.2 from Plague Doctor. Plague Doctor is really solid. You can throw an Alchemist there if that works out better. Boreas didn't have a great showing at all. But that's going to be the end of this YouTube video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to put in the comments what unit you want to see next, and I will check you guys out in tomorrow's video.